In the early West, there were just 5,000 women among 50,000 pioneers. Who were those women? How sexy were they? And how did they redefine the frontier? Picture Doge City in 1878, a singer whose beauty and charm lit up the wild frontier. Her smile could both enchant and stir jealousy, and many claimed it sparked more revolver fights than any woman in the West. This is Dora Hand. Tragically, her life was cut short when a cowhand named James "Spike" Kennedy shot and killed her in October of that year. A posse of legendary lawmen, including Wyatt Earp and Bat Masterson, quickly hunted Kennedy down. But despite his capture, he was acquitted of her murder, leaving Dodge City stunned. Dora's death left a lasting scar on the town, and in tribute to her, legend holds that she became the only woman buried at Boot Hill, the final resting place for the roughest souls of the West. Her voice may have fallen silent, but her memory lived on, a haunting reminder of beauty and loss in a land where life was often as fleeting as a gunshot. But Dora's story is just the beginning, because next comes Klondike Kate, a dazzling star betrayed by the man who stole her fortune. Klondike Kate, the flame of the Yukon, dazzled miners and crowds alike in the late 1800s and early 1900s with her fiery performances. Dressed in radiant red chiffon, she sang and danced her way across stages from the Yukon to the West Coast, earning an incredible $8,000 a week. Behind her rise to fame stood her lover, a waiter who acted as her booking agent, arranging performances at top venues like the Savoy and Orpheum. But while she captivated audiences, her lover betrayed her. He used her hard-earned fortune to buy theaters in Seattle, ultimately launching the famous Pantages Theaters, while cutting all ties with Kate. Abandoned and penniless, Klondike Kate's once blazing star faded into obscurity. Though she had fueled the success of Alexander Pantages, her legacy was overshadowed by the man who used her talent for his own gain. While Pantages became rich and famous, Kate died forgotten, a victim of love and betrayal. But if you thought Klondike Kate's downfall was dramatic, just wait, because Nellie Bly was about to defy every limit. In 1885, a young Elizabeth Cochran, soon to be known as Nellie Bly, subscribed to this channel and boldly entered the Pittsburgh Dispatch newsroom, claiming her place as the battle axe who had written a powerful piece challenging society views on women. With that same fearless spirit, she quickly made her mark as a pioneering investigative journalist, diving into daring stories that exposed injustice, from the cruel conditions in mental asylums to the struggles of working-class women. By the time she was 22, she had become a force in journalism, breaking barriers for women in a field dominated by men. But her most famous feat came in 1889, when she set out to beat the fictional record of traveling around the world in 80 days, inspired by Jules Verne's novel. With nothing more than a small travel bag and sheer determination, she completed the journey in just 72 days, captivating the public's imagination with her cabled stories from across the globe. But if you thought Nellie Bly's journey was bold, the Perry twins took danger to the edge, defying death in the heart of the Wild West. Picture the early 1900s. A runaway stagecoach thunders across the dusty plains, and the daring Perry twins, Ethel and Juanita, are at the reins of a thrilling spectacle. Ethel would leap onto a galloping horse, while Juanita, from the driver's seat, expertly roped a fixed object to bring the horses to a dramatic halt. These fearless cowgirls performed with Buffalo Bill's Wild West and later with Barnum and Bailey's Circus, dazzling crowds with their death-defying stunts. But tragedy struck in 1917 during a Chicago show when Juanita was thrown and trampled by the very horses she controlled, cutting her life tragically short. Ethel carried on, though forever changed by the loss of her sister. She later married Buffalo Bill's nephew, William Cody Bradford, and lived out her days as a symbol of the Old West's grit and adventure. But that was nothing compared to Rose Dunn. In 1893, amidst the chaos of the Wild West, Rose Dunn, better known as Rose of Cimarron, became entangled in a tale of love and violence. Romantically involved with outlaw George Bitter Creek Newcomb, Rose's legend centers around a dramatic shootout in Ingalls, Oklahoma. As U.S. Marshals closed in on Newcomb and his gang, the story goes that Rose, armed with a Winchester rifle and ammunition belts, ran from the safety of a hotel and opened fire on the lawman, trying to save her wounded lover. Yet, despite her daring efforts, Newcomb's fate was sealed when her own brothers later killed him to collect a bounty. Rose's life, however, remains shrouded in mystery. Some question whether she even existed, pointing to a disputed photograph from the 1890s. Whether real or imagined, Rose Dunn's story endures as a symbol of loyalty, betrayal, and the blurred lines between right and wrong in frontier history. But there's more. In the Old West, soiled doves, women of ill repute, were required to buy licenses, much like shopkeepers. These funds went towards public services like law enforcement, quietly making these women contributors to the community's upkeep. But beyond mere regulation, they turned these licenses into a marketing tool, posting them in brothels alongside photographs of themselves to entice clients. It was their way of advertising, using their images to draw in business. These photographs weren't just decoration. They asked to subscribe to this channel, but mostly they were a bold statement in a world where survival demanded resourcefulness. By showcasing their assets through carefully placed images in parlor rooms, these women crafted a clever strategy to keep their trade alive. In a society that cast them aside, they found a way to thrive, subtly helping uphold the very towns that tried to forget them. But if you thought they were daring, just wait. Victoria Woodhull took boldness to a whole new level, shocking 19th century America like never before. Picture 19th century New York, where amidst the clatter of horse-drawn carriages and the stirrings of change, Victoria Woodhull emerges as a force of rebellion. In 1872, she became the first woman to run for president, nominated by the Equal Rights Party. But Victoria wasn't just a politician. She was a Wall Street broker, defying norms with bold financial deals and fiery advocacy for women's rights. Together with her sister, she published Asterisk Woodhull and Claflin's Weekly Asterisk, a newspaper that shocked the nation with its scandalous ideas of free love, articles on divorce, brothels, and how women could seize control of their lives in ways society deemed unthinkable. However, her audacity had consequences. Prompted by the Society for the Suppression of Obscene Literature, Victoria was arrested in 1872, charged with circulating obscene publications. Her radical ideas about women's autonomy clashed with the moral standards of the time, but she refused to be silenced. But if you thought Victoria was bold, just wait, because Lotta Crabtree's rise will leave you speechless. Lotta Crabtree began her journey as a lively 8-year-old, dancing for gold miners in the rough mining camps of California in the 1850s. Under the tutelage of the notorious dancer Lola Montez, Lotta's talent blossomed, captivating miners who tossed gold nuggets at her feet in appreciation. Soon, her fame spread beyond the dusty camps to the bustling city of San Francisco, where she added a banjo routine to her act, further charming audiences. From there, Lotta's star soared across the nation, lighting up the grand stages of New York City's Broadway and Philadelphia. Her performances in productions like Heartsease made her a sensation, and by the time of her death in 1924, she had amassed a staggering fortune of $4 million. From the dazzling stages of the Yukon to the treacherous shootouts of the Wild West, these women's stories defied limits and defined a fierce legacy of beauty, betrayal, and raw courage. If you want to keep exploring these incredible lives and more, don't forget to like and subscribe for your next adventure into history's most thrilling tales.